Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects millions of people, but is, often surrounded by a ton of myths and just plain confusion: varicose veins. In this explainer, we're going to give you the clear, straightforward facts on what they are, and, this is the important part, how they're managed with today's medicine. So, let's get right into it. So, if you've ever looked down at your legs and thought, what's the deal with these blue, kind of bulging veins? Well, you are definitely not alone. But is it just something that doesn't look great, or is there more going on under the surface? Let's find out what's really happening. Okay, here's our game plan. We've got 5 key parts. We'll start with the absolute basics, then we'll get into why they happen and how they're diagnosed. After that, we'll look at the latest non-surgical treatments, which is really cool stuff. Then we'll bust some common myths, and we'll wrap up with some practical tips you can start using today. All right, first things first. What exactly are varicose veins? When we say that phrase, what are we actually talking about? Let's break it down. Okay, think of your veins like one-way streets. Their whole job is to carry blood back up to your heart. And to do that, they have these tiny little gates, or valves, that stop blood from flowing backward. But what happens when those little gates get weak or break? Well, blood starts to pool up, kind of like a traffic jam. And all that pressure makes the vein walls stretch out, get twisted and bulge. And that's what we see on the surface as a varicose vein. Now, while the way they look is what most people notice, the symptoms can be a whole lot more than skin deep. We're talking about a real nagging ache or a heavy feeling in your legs, especially at the end of the day. Swelling, itching, and those painful muscle cramps in the middle of the night, those are super common too. This really just shows for so many people, this is a genuine medical issue, not just about looks. So this leads to the next big questions, right? Why do these valves fail to begin with? And how does the doctor figure out what's actually going on in there? Let's take a look. Well, it's not just one thing. It's really a mix of factors. But the biggest one, by far, it's genetics. Get this. If your parents have varicose veins, you have up to a 90% chance of getting them too. That's huge. Gender also plays a big part, with women being about 4 times more likely to be affected. And then you have things like age, pregnancy, being overweight, and even having a job that keeps you sitting or standing all day. They all add to the list. The good news is, finding out what's going on is super simple. It usually starts with a doctor just taking a look, but the really critical step is something called a Doppler ultrasound. It's totally painless, there are no needles, it's just a little probe that glides over your leg while you're standing up, because that's when the veins are easiest to see. What it does is create this perfect map of your blood flow, showing the doctor exactly which little valves are broken and helping them design the perfect treatment plan just for you. And that brings us to the best part of this whole story: the treatments. Seriously, the days of complicated surgery are pretty much over. Today's options are minimally invasive, super effective, and you can often get them done right in a clinic and be back on your feet in no time. 2 of the most popular methods are laser therapy and radiofrequency ablation. They both work on the same basic idea. A tiny, tiny catheter is guided into the bad vein, and then targeted heat is used to gently seal it shut. It's that simple. Your body then just reroutes the blood flow through other, healthier veins. The main difference is just the type of heat. Laser uses high-temp light, while radiofrequency uses a lower-temp energy that some people find a bit more comfortable. Then there's another incredible option, especially for those smaller, twisty veins, and it's called sclerotherapy. It is so straightforward. A doctor simply injects a special solution, sometimes it's like a foam, right into the vein. This makes the vein walls stick together, close up, and then just gradually fade away. The benefits are just wow. The whole thing takes maybe 10 or 15 minutes, it's painless, leaves 0 scars, and you can walk out and get right back to your day. And hey, even for those who have really large, bulging veins, there's a technique called microphlebectomy. A doctor can actually remove the problem vein through tiny little punctures, so small they often don't even need a stitch. It just goes to show, even the most severe cases can be handled effectively, usually in just 1 session. With so many great treatments out there, it is just wild how much bad information is still floating around. So let's switch gears and bust a few of the most common myths. I'm sure you've heard this one, or seen an ad for it. The idea that you can just rub some magic cream on your legs or try some ancient remedy, and poof, the varicose veins will be gone for good. Yeah, that is, without a doubt, a complete myth. And honestly, you can be a pretty dangerous one to believe. So here's the reality. Varicose veins are a structural problem. It's happening inside the vein with those broken valves. There is no cream you can put on your skin that can reach in and fix that internal plumbing. Sure, some herbal things might soothe the ache for a little while, but they are not a cure. And leech therapy? Not only does it not work, the vein just fills right back up with blood, but you're also opening yourself up to a serious risk of infection. The only real solution is to fix the internal problem with a proven medical treatment. Okay, so now that we know what works and what absolutely doesn't, let's wrap up with the most empowering part. What you can actually do every single day to support your leg health and maybe even keep varicose veins from getting worse. Get moving. It is so important. Things like walking, cycling, swimming, they're all fantastic because they make your calf muscles work. You should think of your calf muscles as a second heart for your legs. Every time you squeeze them, they push blood up those veins, fighting against gravity. Even simple things like doing some heel and toe raises while you're sitting at your desk can make a world of difference. And what you eat plays a huge part too. High fiber foods are great because they prevent constipation, which actually reduces pressure on your leg veins. Flavonoids, that's the stuff in berries and citrus, help make your vein walls stronger. Vitamin C is key for building collagen, which keeps veins elastic. And on the other hand, try to limit super salty foods because salt makes you retain water and that just adds more pressure to your system. You've probably seen or heard about compression stockings. Now, it's really important to know they won't cure varicose veins that are already there, but they are an incredibly powerful tool for managing the symptoms. They work by giving your leg a gentle squeeze, tighter at the ankle, looser as you go up, which helps your muscles and veins push that blood back to the heart more efficiently. This can make a huge difference in that daily swelling and aching feeling. But, and this is a really big but, one size does not fit all. If you just grab a pair off the shelf, you could end up with the wrong size or pressure level, which at best won't work, and at worst could actually be harmful. It is absolutely crucial to talk to a doctor and get properly fitted. So if there's just one thing you take away from all of this today, please let it be this. Varicose veins are a real, treatable medical condition. They aren't just a cosmetic problem, and they are definitely not something you just have to live with. When you think about it, with all the simple, painless treatments available and all the small lifestyle changes you can make, you have so many options. The power really is in your hands. Thanks so much for tuning in.